welcome back to some of our video lessons here. Alright, so we are done with Unit 6. Alright, we're not going to test on it, you guys did your project, okay? And we just finished up our bills last week during finals week. So we're going to jump right into the next unit, and this is going to be all medical insurance. Okay, we've talked a little bit about Medicare and stuff, that's where some of that money goes. But we're going to talk about personal medical insurance. Alright, why you should have medical insurance your whole life, really. Okay, so our objective today is for you guys to know that, or to learn what medical insurance is, why it was created, okay, and how it works, and then a little bit of how much it costs. Okay, we're going to get into more costs in lesson 2 and lesson 3. Right now, we're just going to introduce most of the basics about what it is, why it's created, and how it works. All right. So what is medical insurance? All right, I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to want to write down most of these definitions. They will be on the test. Okay? There are so many different words that we need to know when we're talking about medical insurance that you will want to write these down in your notes. Okay? The term medical insurance, also health insurance, is generally used to describe any form of insurance that pays for medical expenses. Okay, so what you'd want to write down is medical health insurance. It's insurance that pays for medical expenses. Alright? More precisely, it's any agreement to where the insurer, so the company, is going to pay you if you get hurt. But you have to pay that company little bits of money in order to receive that big money if you get hurt. So it's going to take care of those medical expenses later on. Okay? Don't worry about this stuff here, but you need this definition that is right there. Okay? Now, why was it invented? Before the development of medical insurance, people were expected to pay their whole medical bill. So if you went out and you're driving to work and you get in a car accident, you're expected to pay your ambulance trip to the hospital. Okay? You're expected to pay your time there. You're expected to pay if you need surgery, just all of it, which right now is absolutely unreal. It's so expensive. Okay? So it was out of their own pockets, okay? And that's that model that we call fee for service. That's like when you have a plumber come out, he gets a fee or he gets payment for the service he does. Kind of like piecework, right? So what if you broke your leg? You're expected to pick up that whole bill, the cast, the surgery, whatever it is. Heart attacks, heart transplant. You'd need to pick that up if we were still using the old model, okay? The fee for service model. Luckily, we're not, okay? Why was it invented? We're still talking about that. Okay. Here's some of the costs that you would have to pay just out of your pocket. Okay. If you broke your leg, about $1,400 just to cast it, just to put a cast on it. Okay. Heart attack, $75,000, just the hospital bill to be there. Okay. Heart transplant, $650,000 if you needed a heart transplant. Alright? Obviously, none of us can probably afford that. Okay? That's where the medical insurance comes into play. Okay? Let's assume that in a classroom of 100 students, once a year a person has a heart attack that costs $100,000. So one of those people out of 100, one heart attack. No one else in the class gets sick. So we don't have to worry about the other 99 people. Okay? Now, someone decided to open an insurance company. If everyone pays them $1,200 per year, okay, $100 a month, they would be able to cover the heart attack costs for that one who needs it. Alright, and we're going to get into what these numbers mean later. There's an actual definition for this number right here, okay, and we're going to get to that later. But it's kind of the concept that we think about. If everybody pays $100 a month, that company is going to be able to pay for that person to have that heart attack replacement or transplant, whatever they might need. Okay? Now here's what we're talking. Alright? The student with the heart attack, they're paying that $1,200 just like everybody else was, but they're receiving that $100,000 because of their heart attack. So they're actually saving $98,800. Okay? But the students without
without that heart attack, they're taking that $1,200 loss. All right? They're paying for that other person's heart attack, kind of like. All right? They're still paying this no matter what, because what if this were them? Well, then they're saving a ton of money, right? But if it's not them, they're still having to pay that to the insurance company.
Okay, is it worth it for the company now? So how is the company going to make money? Well, if they're getting $1,200 for every 100 students, right? Everybody in that class is paying that $1,200. Okay, they're making that much money in a year, just based on what we're paying that insurance company. Okay, so if you take the profit of that, that company is still making $20,000 after they pay for that person's heart attack. Okay, so they're still making $20,000 no matter what, based on the conditions that we've had with that one person out of 100 having a heart attack. Why should you buy it? All right, it's really up to you. You don't have to have health insurance. You really don't. Okay, here are some things that we want to look at though. What are the risks of not having health insurance? Okay, we talked about these. You'd be caught with a huge medical bill if you get in a car accident, if you break your leg, whatever it might be. You're stuck with that bill if you don't have health insurance. Okay, what about if you do have insurance? What are the risks? Well, if you're never going to get sick, you're kind of wasting your money on that premium. That premium is that money you pay each month for your health insurance. Okay, if you're poor, should you buy it? Just depends, can you afford it? Okay, can you afford that premium every month in order to pay for that insurance? All right, what if you're wealthy? If you have a lot of money, what are the risks? Okay, can you still handle that big of a bill? If we had a heart transplant and you're super rich, could you handle that bill? So risks of everything: poor, wealthy, don't have insurance versus having insurance. All right, don't need to worry about writing any of this down, but it's just food for thought. Okay. Now, buying insurance is not always the best option. It's not always. But you have to weigh the pros and the cons, is what this is saying. Okay? Do you drive a lot? If you drive a lot, you're more apt to get into an accident. If you get into an accident, can you pay the bill? That kind of stuff. Alright? And just kind of funny thing here. After all, no man in his right mind ever bought maternity insurance for himself. Maternity meaning when people have babies. And of course, men cannot have babies. Alright, these are the definitions that you need to write down. Okay, a premium is that amount of money an individual pays to the insurance company each month. Each month is a premium. So if I go to my insurance agent, I'm like, I want health insurance. And he says, okay, that's going to be $400 a month. Or let's just use $300. Alright, that's going to be $300 a month. That's my premium. $300 per month is a premium. Okay? The deductible. It's the annual amount of money the insured must pay for medical services before the insurance company kicks in. Okay? So this is saying like, okay, the premium is going to be $300 a month, but you have to pay $1,000 before insurance kicks in. Okay? That's going to be what the deductible is. And we're going to get to an example later on. The co-payment. It's the amount of money the insured must pay at each appointment. Okay? So you go in to get x-rays, you have to pay $50 no matter what, and then insurance will pick up the rest. That's a co-pay or a co-payment. Here the example is, you got to pay $20 no matter what at the service that you're getting. Per visit, you're paying $20. That's a co-pay. Coinsurance now is saying that we're using a percentage. So it's the percent of the total medical bill that the individual must pay. Alright, that insurance usually kicks in anything else. So, say your bill is $10,000, you have to pay 20% of it at a flat rate, and the insurance company would then pick up the extra 80%. Okay, that's what a coinsurance is. Exclusions, you have to read the fine print here. It's services which the insurance company does not pay for. Okay? Insurance companies aren't going to pay for drug rehab. Okay? Insurance companies aren't going to pay for AA class. Alright, which would be some sort of drug rehab, would be alcoholism. Okay? They're not going to pay for that kind of stuff. They might not pay for certain physical therapies. Alright? That kind of thing. And coverage limits, it's the maximum amount the insurance company will pay during the insured lifetime. Okay? So like if I get into an accident every single year and have to have a surgery on my leg every single year, the insurance company is finally going to say, no, that's enough. We've spent enough money on you. Okay? And that's the coverage limit. Alright? Example would be $1 million per person. If you use up that insurance company's $1 million, you're done. Okay, here's some more definitions. Out-of-pocket maximums. The maximum amount that the person will have to be required to pay per year. Alright, and then the insurance would cover anything else up to that coverage limit. So the insurance company might say, alright, your premium is going to be $300 a month, but the maximum amount that you have to pay is $5,000. Excuse me, not a month. The maximum amount that you'd have to pay in a year would be $5,000. That would be out-of-pocket maximums. Okay? Now, in-network provider, alright, a healthcare provider on a list of providers pre-selected by the insurer. Okay, don't worry about writing this one down, but you do need to know it. Alright? Just means that it's cheaper if you're in the network versus you're out of the network. Okay? So it'd be $250 if you are in the network, opposed to $350 if you're not in the network. Okay? You do need to know what those are, but you might not need to write that one down. Alright, then you need to write the difference of these two as well. Alright? Indemnity is a type of insurance. Okay? This gives you the freedom to see any doctor that you want. You don't need a referral. You don't need any or you do have to pay a deductible before you go. Okay? A copay. And then it focuses on solving the existing health problems. So that'd be something that you have a lot of. Okay? That's an indemnity. Alright? You do need to know that this is pretty freedom of choice. This is a freedom of choice. Okay? You have a lot more choice here. Okay? But there are some downsides to it. Health maintenance. Okay, this is going to be not freedom of choice. I'm going to write stricter. Okay, this is more strict. This means that you can only see certain doctors. It limits, the insurance company is going to limit what doctors you see. Okay? To see a specialist, you'll have to get a referral from one of those doctors that they force you to see. You won't pay deductible, but you'll have a small copay. Alright? And then it focuses on preventing the health problems. Okay, so the other one, it was those ongoing ones. This is preventing the ones that could happen. Okay, so those are also another difference. This is for the future. Oops. This is for the future. And the indemnity is for the now. The indemnity is for the nows. Okay. Here are some review questions of what you absolutely need to know in this section. What is medical insurance? Okay, it's any form of insurance that you pay a premium to a company for. Okay? Also known as a premium. You have to know what a premium is. It's that amount you pay. Okay? Why was it invented? To help individuals cover the costs of health care, of medical expenses. And what happens if you don't? You're responsible for the whole medical bill if you don't have health insurance. Okay? That was a big section for 7.1. A reminder that you get paid for the notes that you do. Alright, and you also get paid for however much you decide to do. However much work you want to do, you'll get the money for it. Okay? If you have questions, please ask. You know I'm available. Alright, other than that, it's time to get started on earning some money. Thank you.